South African, a very, very warm welcome. So good to be back on Afternoon Express today, and of course in our fabulous kitchen for the CookALong. Now today we are taking a whirlwind trip into the diverse cuisines found across the African continent. Now make sure to prepare your taste buds for all the exciting flavors that we have in store for you today. Now we are joined by Chef Portia and Chef Lumai. Welcome, lovely ladies, who compiled the African cookbook with all of these amazing, culturally rich recipes. Now, chefs, welcome to the show. So lovely to have you here. We can't wait to hear about all of your fantastic journeys. So what are we going to be preparing today?
So we're going to be making Egyptian tamia, Malawian mbatata simsim balls, and an ayib dip. So those are two finger foods with a dip.
Oh, that sounds absolutely delicious. Exactly what I'm in the mood for. And of course, the keyword for the butter oil African cookbook feast, all you need to do is SMS the keyword clover to 33650. SMSs are charged at R1.50 each, and free SMSs do not apply. And for the fish emoji and emoji. And of course, the Zanzibar bamia, SMS the keyword eat to 33650. SMSs are, of course, R1.50 each, and free SMSs do not apply. All right, and now, because it is, of course, an amazing Tuesday, and we always have the most fantastic guests over in our loft, let me introduce you to today's sensational guest. Hello, darling.
How are you? I'm good.
No, have a seat, have a seat, have a seat. So good to have you here. Now, of course, our very special CookALong guest for today is media maven and economic advisor Refilwe Moloto. And of course, with a wealth of knowledge in culture, economics, and society, this stellar woman joins us today to chat all about her journey. So please do connect with us online if you've got any questions for Refilwe. Tweet us at Afternoon Chat using the hashtag Afternoon Express, or pop over to our Facebook page or our Instagram page. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Very hard to follow that intro. How are you?
Great. Busy and fantastic.
Absolutely.
You have had such an incredible life. So interesting, so textured.
Yes, very different, I would have to say. I've definitely had the I've had the benefit and of a great many shifts in my life. Nothing has been consistent. Everything has gone in different directions. Sometimes according to plan, and sometimes just going a little bit on the less beaten path, which I've enjoyed.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that you said that you actually honor a lot of the men in your family because they allowed women, not allowed, I mean, it should be like this for all families, but obviously it's not. But you had the same level of education as what the guys would have gotten, and you had freedom to be yourself. You weren't pigeonholed into that's the kind of girl you should be.
Not in the least, and I think it's not a small thing to take note of. So thank you for recognizing that. It was generations ago in an African and very paternalistic society that my mother's father was given 7 girls. He passed away when she was only 4, and the last thing he said to her mother was, make sure my girls are educated, which she did. Similarly, my grandfather on my father's side, it was absolutely imperative, just as much as it was for my grandmothers.
Yeah, that is beautiful, because you've actually come from such a successful family as well. Super textured, super accomplished.
It is, and it's interesting to be the black sheep, and so it's interesting again to hear your kind of intro. And when I say black sheep, not in a bad way, but definitely one who took maybe a more cultural path, even though I'm a little bit more scientific. But people that I look up to, they've been grounding to me throughout my life, and their journeys themselves are a large part of, I call them the shoulders on which I stood on. In many parts of my life, they opened so many doors.
Your grandmother sounded like she must have been the most amazing woman ever.
Incredible. They both were, my father's mum is a well-known woman, an authoress who broke barriers very early in South Africa's, I suppose, creeping toward a post-democratic phase, and wrote a book called Call Me Woman that really expressed, I think, the story of a South African woman and this black South African woman, but I think so many people were able to take a lot from that. The foreword was written by Nadine Gordimer, who recognized that herself. And at the same time, she was just a fun gran, who we played cards with whenever we were in Johannesburg, and you know, who'd sing along with us and the like, and always remind us that the most important job after that of a mother is that of a teacher, which she herself was before.
To come from people like that that are so accomplished must be really inspiring for you. So you went on to university. What did you study?
I studied commerce. I studied economics and finance. I did that. Started out in Cape Town. As I said, my paths were not always straight. Had a little bit of fun and wrapped it up in Johannesburg, and then
ended up in New York.
I did.
I mean, I love New York. It is one of my favorite cities in the world.
And the crazy thing is, at the time, I didn't actually want to even go. I had to be coaxed by my bosses. They were like, no, just come. And I said, no, I kind of like Joburg, actually. And then somebody said to me, you're 25 and unattached, and someone's paying you to move to New York. Get out of the backseat of your life, girl, and head over. Which, of course, was one of the best decisions I ever made. You know, economics and the like, and finance for me were paths or tools that I wanted to use to help in developmental economics and making the world better, society better. And so I found out very quickly in working in charities and varsity that it's easier to pull on people's purse strings than on their heartstrings. So Wall Street was a really great place to introduce the world at a great time during the commodities boom to Africa.
Wall Street.
And emerging markets and frontier markets, and make people realize that the risks that you perceive are not as bad as you'd think. And all it is about education, which is what we did.
It must have been so amazing to receive all of that energy from, like, as a young girl on Wall Street. Amazing.
Absolutely. It's everything that we think it is, and if you look at your Instagram feed, and so much more. It's a melting pot for real. I mean, I like to call New York the Grand Central Station of America. The best of the best from around the world arrive there, but it's very transient, and so we're all just trying to get the most out of our lives, and then quickly head on to the next phase, which for me is Cape Town.
So what made you move back?
Okay, so the crash occurred, and there was this opportunity for me to stay on over there. But I have to be honest, it left a lot of us lackluster about Wall Street, about chasing money. The money was finished, and so the blood money felt like just blood on the streets, and it was a difficult time. It's difficult to sit in an office and watch a range of people, your colleagues who've been in the industry for 25 years, just crumble into tears because you know, this company has they've been loyal to this company for their entire career, and there was nothing we could do about it, which is one of the reasons I'm particularly empathetic to the current retrenchment era that we're facing in South Africa. It's a difficult space, and so I said to myself, but South Africa, as I know from emerging markets, is actually still doing okay, and I have a place at home. Why would I stay here and suffer? And so I started trying to leave finance and heading into some film ventures, moved back here, but eventually I couldn't resist. Some banks were chasing me for a few months. I eventually took up the bait, came to Cape Town. The rest was history in terms of financial services again.
And then broadcast obviously gave you an amazing window and an incredible platform. So the breakfast show on talk radio, that's quite difficult because every day you've just got to speak for like 3 hours.
You do, but can I tell you how similar it is to waking up very early in the morning on Wall Street and making sure you have your ducks in a row for your investors. So in that regard, it's been very similar. Making sure that you distill the news, make sure that you give people the best information to make the most out of their day or the investment, which is their day. And so that's been amazing. It kicked off with when I went out on my own, my advisory work was mostly for African countries outside SA. So that's why I'm really excited for what's on the menu today. And as a result, I started a business in Africa, sort of crossing on a weekly basis on the station. And eventually they asked me to host a business show once or twice, and then there was great response, and then they said, would you like to try the breakfast show? And that's where we are. Which is a huge feat, I have to say, for a person who's green in the industry.
But I think I mean, I haven't listened a lot, but the times that I have listened, I find it so interesting that also it's such an important conversation that women have to have. Getting comfortable talking about money.
Right, very true. Money, societal issues, and the fact that there's so few of us that sit in that seat, which is usually looked to from a sense of authority, means that I have this kind of prime opportunity to cast a different lens on the conversations that are happening every day about money.
Yeah.
You know, women are such a large part of the decision-making part of consumption in South Africa, in Africa, and yet sometimes are not considered in terms of the way that they look at how they would spend. Yeah. And so it's this wonderful opportunity, and I would say, as a listener, I've found that the longer I've been there, there've been more and more women coming through on the phone calls, feeling empowered to say, you know, actually, now that you mention it, I look at the world that way too. So that's been lovely.
Yeah, the way you do speak your message is always so well received. You make everything easy to understand, especially things like economics and society, which is sometimes a lot.
It can be, but we like to keep the levity as well. I'm a lover of fashion, I'm a lover of popular culture, and we try to keep people abreast of that. You know, life is light and shade.
Yeah, well, you are full of light.
Thank
so
you.
we're very grateful to have you today for our
to be
cook-along. This is going to be so delicious. And of course, we've asked you if you've got any questions for Refilwe. And Lukela Lulu says, hello, Afternoon Express. I would like to ask her if she was not a radio presenter, what else would she be doing? And what does she enjoy about being a radio host?
All right, I am still doing things from my previous life. So I continue with advisory work, and I continue to sort of participate on boards where I have oversight in investments. You might be surprised to know I actually have a huge passion for hair, black hair. And so have kind of taken my path into some ventures in black hair, and will continue to push through there, surprisingly.
That is a business.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
It's one of the fastest growing on the continent, and Cape Town, with 80% of a black and brown population, has barely any great places for you to go to do your hair. And so it's been a labor of love and discovery. I'm not actually a hairstylist, but I've been trying to get into that business. And then, of course, I'd probably be in musical theatre.
Really?
That's what I wanted first, before economics.
I did for a while. It was
you're outstanding. I've seen you do that stand-up as well. You were really great.
Oh, that was so hard. Yeah. Thank you, though, for that. Then Yasmin Zumandez asked, what are the daily challenges that she faced, and how does she prep for her radio show? What keeps driving you? That's an interesting question.
That is
how do you know what topics you're going to talk about on the day?
So my primary job is to make sure that you get to work fully informed and as motivated as possible. So sometimes you've got really bad news to share. I'm not supposed to inform you to the extent that when you drive into the office, you're like, I just want to go home and get back into bed. So that's why the light and shade. I've got a wonderful team of producers who are constantly on the lookout, but I'm voracious about consuming news and information anyway. And so I like to keep, my primary thing on this particular show is to make it, yes, focused on Cape Town, but highlighting Cape Town as a part of South Africa, a part of Africa, and a part of the world, which I think sometimes we forget what a global city we are, and then remembering what global shifts actually affect us as well.
Yeah, amazing. Now, join us after the break as Refilwe and I take on some exquisite recipes in the kitchen. Can't wait for that.
Just relax, it's just us two. Just do you. Nobody
Clover fresh milk is the #1 milk brand in SA. Made with love by Clover. Welcome back to Afternoon Express. If you've just joined us, good timing, because we're about to cook up one seriously amazing feast in this kitchen. Now, surround yourself with fresh smells and textures as we take you on a real journey of adventure on this continent and bring it into your kitchen. Now, mother and daughter duo, Portia and Lumai, now invite you to experience their really colourful journey through Africa with the African Cookbook Feast. So get the pots, recipes, and the clover butter oil ready on hand. SMS the keyword clover to 33650. SMSs are charged at R1.50 each, and free SMSs do not apply. So first I want to ask you, how good is your cooking?
It's pretty good. I call myself the crooning contessa.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, because musical theatre in my kitchen.
So your favourite song to sing in the kitchen?
I'm a big one on Mariah and Beyonce, obviously. Oh. You got to have the runs while you're chopping the onions, you know?
So you're going to give me a little bit of that sweet, sweet memory.
You see?
I really wish I could sing that song. I love it. It's my favourite. Okay, ladies, I cannot wait for this recipe. It's going to be absolutely delicious. Where do we get started?
Absolutely.
Well, I'm going to be making them batata balls.
Yes.
But in the meantime, I'm going to put the fish, because we're doing a fish emoji as well, so the fish needs to steam.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you a few
What exactly is a batata ball?
Batata ball is sweet potato, batata.
Batata. Okay, so that's
sweet potato, sweet potato.
Yeah.
And this is a little bowl.
Yeah.
With sesame seeds. So that kind of I spiced it up. Now, if you go to Malawi, you're not going to find these.
Okay.
That's my creation.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, I was going to ask which part of Africa this comes from.
Everything in the recipe book is my inspiration. I've traveled to the country, kind of broke bread with the women, kind of found out what their interesting stuff was.
Yeah.
What do you cook at home? Because when you get to a country, you end up in a hotel.
Yeah.
So you've got to find out how you get to the village or wherever they do whatever they're doing, where the home is. So that's where I kind of do my trek there. Then they say, oh, no, this is what we do, this is what we eat. That's where you find the real nugget of the recipe.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, they like to eat the way the locals eat. I think that's always the best experience.
But then I extract from there when I come home and I think, okay, how am I going to make this so that I can have a recipe that's mine, but with an inspiration from Africa. Yeah. So that's what I do here.
So what inspired this? Did the two of you just go mother and daughter traveling throughout the world just to find your favourite recipes and to create your favourite recipes for a book? Or did it just happen?
No. So it happened organically, and I was actually saying to my mom, it's quite funny, when I was young, I thought, okay, with all these trips that we took, which were really like rough in the bush, like, our parents want to kill us. They want to... We were always somewhere stranded. We have many stories traveling through Mali, down the Niger River. We camped on the banks of the Niger River, and there was one night, there was a sandstorm, and you woke up in the morning covered in sand, stuck to every part of your skin, and we looked outside, and there's nothing. You can see nothing, there's no one. I thought, no one knows we're here. We could die out here, and I'm like 12 years old, I'm like, there's no civilization anywhere. So our trips it was throughout my childhood. It was quite
it was a natural habitat for you.
Yeah, it became adventures became like the normal holiday. Everyone else went to Disneyland. So it happened over many years. It wasn't just one trip for recipes for the book. It was like our life.
Just a lifetime. Yeah. Wow, what an extraordinary childhood you must have had. Yeah. But now the kitchen is, of course, Refilwe's natural habitat. So what do you have for us to do?
So this here is going to be the ayib dip, which is a lovely fresh dip. It's very simple, you're going to discover. It's a chunky cottage cheese. You've got yogurt here, a touch of honey into that bowl. But I'm probably going to start you off with chopping with, I think, some of these spring onions.
Alrighty.
So it's this lovely yogurty dip.
Here you go.
Thank you so much.
We'll use that one later for the fish.
Okay,
so onions in this pot, oil in this pot.
Is this enough, or do you want some more?
We're going to put, as soon as this starts boiling, we're going to put some fish, and I think there are shrimp in the fridge here that we're going to put in that pot as well.
I don't hold.
Amazing.
Okay, bay leaves and peppercorns.
Okay.
Are you going to remember that?
Bay leaves and peppercorns. I'm going to try not to forget.
So the bay leaves and peppercorn, you can go ahead with that.
All of them?
No.
Some?
About 3 or 4, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Great. That's a great job. 5. I like pepper.
And then the bay leaves I can't see here.
The bay leaves. Okay, well, we'll do without the bay leaves.
Yeah.
So then let's actually get the shrimp, which is in here.
Yeah.
So
It's a great fridge.
the one that you're making now, a lot of these dishes, as my mom said, is her inspiration.
Right.
So she went somewhere, she probably tasted something she liked and thought, let me come home and make something similar. So the ayeb is quite a nice fresh one. And then this Egyptian tamia is kind of like an Egyptian falafel.
Oh, that's going to be
What is tamia?
So what is
beans, squash?
I think it's the beans, yeah. It's mashed beans, and you can use different types of beans. Doesn't have to be white beans, could be red speckled beans. And then you've got leeks, you've got a whole lot of herbs. My mom loves herbs. Everything you can see, there's lots of coriander. Is her #1 favorite.
Everything smells amazing.
So everything must have lots of like fresh stuff in it. And then you're going to make a little patty, and we're going to shallow fry it. And that's what the tamia becomes.
Fantastic.
That Moroccan, Egyptian, Arabic kind of cuisine is just my favorite. All of those little dips and lambs and amazing. I absolutely love to eat that way. And also because it's always shared dishes, which I think is probably the best way to eat when everybody's sharing the same thing. The thought of being stuck with a meal all to yourself is daunting for me. I want a bit of everybody else.
Also, you don't want to have to choose, right? And miss out on something else. Exactly. They always said, don't let your food get cold while you're looking at someone else's plate.
Yeah.
It's the most African thing to eat family style.
So here we've got the onions, shrimps, bay leaves. Amazing.
Fish.
And how do I put the fish in? Do I cut it up?
No, you're just going to plate on top of that.
And what kind of fish is this?
That's hake. These are baby hakes. So, so we put the onion in. To recap, the peppercorns, the bay leaves, the shrimp, or prawns, baby prawns, and then the hake.
Perfect. All of that in a pot.
All that
Looks really good.
So let it just steam.
Yeah.
We need to get a lid for that to steam.
Okay.
In the meantime, can I give you this?
Yes. What do you want me to do?
You're gonna be crushing that, mashing it.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go.
How's your mashing going on that side?
Mashing's going well.
Chopping is feeling pretty strong around here.
Yeah, it's looking good.
The chopping's really good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm doing a lot over here as well, right?
Yes, yeah. I think put all that cottage cheese in.
Fantastic.
What's nice about actually a lot of African food, especially in Egypt, Egyptian food and Moroccan, is it's so influenced by the Middle East.
That's right.
Actually, food in Africa, we always say it's so hard to say African food because you're talking about like so many different countries, 50 whatever countries, and with these amazing influences. Like on the East Coast, you get all these influences from the Indian, the spice trade. In Kenya, Tanzania, they eat like chapati there, samosas.
They sure do.
It's like Indian food you find there, yet they've made it their own.
And one of the things your mum was saying, sorry, Portia, what Portia was saying, obviously, about having to go and find where the villages, where you find the food is, you find the local markets, is that everybody does eat deeply local. Like the most, which of course is the way the organic movement is going now, but we've been doing it for decades.
And eat seasonal as well.
That's right, quite right.
Which is so much better for your digestive system and, of course, for the planet.
Indeed.
Yeah.
All right.
I was mentioning earlier that, you know, wherever I go, I actually got interested in African food in the States.
Yeah.
That's strange, coming from South Africa.
Yeah.
But because there are Ethiopian restaurants all over, wherever you go, everybody say to you, I've been to an Ethiopian restaurant.
Yes.
Why? And I figured out it's probably the only country in Africa that wasn't colonized.
Yeah.
So they felt proud enough to take their cuisine and transport it to other countries.
Good point.
The rest of us just kept keeping our cuisine and adopted instead the cuisine from Europe, the cuisine from America, the cuisine from Mexico, and we just forgot about our own cuisine.
Yeah.
We forgot about our own food, which is so precious, which is so lovely.
What a very special, very important message. There's actually this Ethiopian restaurant in Cape Town, which is one of my favorites. They just serve you like this big bread, I suppose, or like a kind of bread, and then just all of these little plates with different incredibly tasteful, herb-full plates.
Again, that family-style eating that you love so much.
Yes, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
I'm ready for my next challenge. I've done my finance. I'm ready for my radio. Thank you.
All right, so
goodness,
just
you're
now you're going to
brilliant.
help me make patties out of the...
Okay, fantastic.
I'm going to have you make little balls out of these.
Okay, well, we're going to make the balls. Let's just recap what we have here, ladies.
Okay.
We've got the sweet potato, a little bit of sugar, and what was the other spice you put in?
I put in some cinnamon and some nutmeg.
Okay, that's going to be absolutely amazing. And then during the ad break, we're going to be making some little balls with this. In here, we have our onions, bay leaf, shrimp, and of course, our baby hakes. And that's just steaming. I'll get you a lid for that now. Then over here, oh, my favorite. What is this? Like a...
It's like cottage cheese yogurt and the ayib. Thank you so much. Yeah, the dip.
And it's called ayib.
Ayib.
Ayib. Where's it from? Egyptian.
Egyptian.
Oh, stunning. I was actually in Egypt this time last year, obviously eating my way through Egypt. And what is in that one again?
And this is the tamia, which is white beans, leeks, coriander, a spring onion.
And those are the ones we're going to shallow fry.
Stunning.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so much happening in this kitchen today. I really hope that you are keeping up and being inspired to cook some of these amazing African dishes yourself at home. And if these delicious finger foods inspired you, and if you would like to learn more, you could stand the chance to win one of 2 copies of the African Cookbook. And to do so, SMS the keyword book to 33650. SMSs are R1.50 each, and free SMSs do not apply. T's and C's can be found on our website. Here's a quick recap in case you wanted to see how we made some of these incredible dishes one more time.
Made with love by Clover.
Now, this is legitimately something that I do often, grate cheese, because cheese is probably my favorite thing in the world. Now, don't go away, because after the break, we get into a really delicious fish imorjo recipe. Don't miss out. We're going to finish up this delicious dish.
Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA. Made with love by Clover.
Together we will fly. Just relax, it's just us two. Just do you.
welcome back to Afternoon Express. So as we continue tasting our way through this African cookbook feast, we hope that you are ready for the next delicious recipe. Now, fish emojo is one of Lumai's favorite summer recipes and, of course, makes for a perfect summery dinner. Now, to get this recipe, SMS the keyword EAT to 33650. SMSs are R1.50 each and free SMSs do not apply. And my upatata balls are nearly finished. Oh, look how good they look. Perfect.
Perfect.
Delish.
Yum. Oh, I did a good job. This is one of my favorite things in the world, is like sharing recipes, and especially for you passing on recipes to, you know, the next generation and you guys creating all of your amazing recipes. I know with my two grandmothers, from the one I learned how to make the most amazing Madeira cake, and the other one makes the most incredible meringues. And so those are my only kitchen skills, unfortunately. But now I'm learning so much more from you. I'm going to have these incredible African dinner parties now at my house. Thank you to the skills that you're teaching me today. What is the best recipe that you've learned along the way in your family?
Oh, my word. I haven't learnt it, but I watched it being made when I was very young. My mother very seldom cooked. She was a working doctor full-time, but she made the most incredible Durban lamb curry, and she made these amazing sambals. And I remember a particular day that it was freezing cold in Durban, and she made this dish out of nowhere. She finally had time, and I've always tried to recreate it once or twice.
Curries are so good, especially for winter. Really, really amazing.
They're my favorites.
Really?
Yes, I love curries.
I think you've done such an extraordinary thing in your life, like having your kids travel with you across the world. Like, what an amazing upbringing they must have had. Was that a conscious decision of yours? Like, what inspired that?
No, actually, I just love traveling. I love food. I love traveling. So I just combined both of those. And it made a lovely combination. Just to go wherever, you know, at one time we said, oh, we want to go to Bali. And the travel agents had Mali. And so she said, like, Mali? And I thought, Mali? Isn't Mali all the way up to Timbuktu? So that's the story Lumai told. So that's how we ended up up the Niger River to Timbuktu. So, I just like traveling. Then I thought I wanted to
follow your nose.
I follow my nose. I follow my nose. When friends and everybody wanted to go to Europe and America, I thought, I'm going to explore Africa. There's lots more here to explore. There's lots more here to see. And so that's what I liked. And then, of course, you talked of Durban curry.
Yes.
I decided to go to India to go and buy my curries from there.
Wow.
So now I do a pilgrimage every year. I travel all the way to India. I buy all my spices, I buy all my curries, I
hope you finally did get to Bali, because that's some really good food.
I did.
Amazing.
Oh, good. They have seriously good food.
We did so many seasons of Top Travel that took us all over the world. We did 26 countries every 6 months, and it was incredible. But I have to say, for our last season, we ended up doing the whole of Africa, and that was the most incredible experience. We really don't need to go far to find the most unbelievable senses, tastes, smells that you'll ever experience in your life. Now, this is looking amazing.
It's coming along.
I can't wait to eat that. So what was this? The cottage cheese thing?
The cottage cheese is the dip. It's over there. This was the, remind me the name. It's
Tamia.
Thank you, Tamia. Thank you,
white beans.
Remember, this is what was being
This is that different falafel.
That's it.
Yes,
amazing.
It's exactly right. It is like a falafel.
But that also, I mean, all of this, I suppose, are just nice and easy things to have in a dip.
And also finger foods. You know, whenever you think of finger food and cocktails, people always think of bringing out the cheese and the breads and what are the kind of vegetable sticks and stuff. And yet there's a lot of African stuff. Like, I've got a whole section in the book that's got a whole lot of finger food. I mean, I took the meal pap and I made it into a thin little patties, like a crisp nsima, which is what they call it in up in Zimbabwe, Malawi, they call it nsima. So that's what you can make finger foods out of our food easily.
And it's such a nice way of consuming vegetables, actually.
Yes.
Because it's really healthy dishes. It's nice, light meats, lots of veggies, and just really, really tasty with all the herbs. Whose decision was it to put it all together into a book?
Should I claim that? So I love food, and when I left high school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And my mom's like, well, maybe get into food because it worked for me.
Yeah.
But I always wanted to do art, and so a way to bring food and art together is photography for me. So I started playing around with food photography. I studied for a year, but I learned the most just by trying things out.
Yeah.
So at the beginning of last year, my mom was like, you know, we should do this book. And I'm like, let's do this book.
Yeah.
So I started taking the pictures. I love it. I did the styling. The passion grew as we did it more. And we thought, no, this has got to be, like, it started as like a fun thing. But then we were like, no, this has got to be a thing now. So we approached publishers, and it happened. It was the right timing.
Listen, it's been such a joy meeting you ladies, and I really think that all of the recipes in your cookbook are going to taste extra better just because they were all made with so much love and so much passion. Isn't that such a gorgeous story? Okay, this is looking amazing. Let's see, our fish is still steaming in there.
Our fish is still steaming.
That's a slow steam, though.
It is a slow steam, yes, a slow steam. It can be a fast one.
Is it supposed to be a slow steam?
Now, let me see. Do I have the...
I don't think it's on.
It's not on. Is this one here? Oh, gosh. I had an education in this. I had a lesson in that, and I'm still getting it wrong.
I still don't know how to work the stove. That is amazing.
Crisp and delicious. I'm very much looking forward to it.
I'm starting with fishy mojo in the meantime.
Okay.
We're just chopping a whole lot of...
what are these?
That is a Zanzibar bamia. Those are okra.
What is it?
Okra.
Okay, so what is it? What does an okra taste like?
Fleshy.
Yeah.
And one of the healthiest vegetable. I'm surprised we don't eat more of those.
Yeah. Can you get okras in South Africa?
Easily. Easily.
Really?
Easily, yes. Very
Have
easy.
any of you at home experienced or tasted any of these okras? What are your favorite dishes to cook them in? Let us know your okra stories, because I'm fascinated by this. I've never seen it before.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard of it.
They also call it ladies' fingers. In English, they call them ladies' fingers. Now, bamia is an Arabic word for okra.
Okay.
Zanzibar bam. You know, there are quite a lot of Arabs because you know the whole story of Zanzibar, the spice island.
Yes.
Yeah, the Arab wanted to kind of make that the spice.
Yes.
Yeah,
I did the spice tour.
You said you just in Zanzibar. Yeah. So that's where the okra. They eat a lot of okra there, but generally in Africa.
What is the flavor?
No, you can actually eat it raw, so you can take a bite of that. Yes.
Do I cut it or just eat it like?
No, you can just eat it like that. Yeah. Just eat it. Just.
Maybe like a green bean or something like that sort of flavor?
Okay, this is amazing.
Yeah. The whole plant is edible.
Actually, don't mind if I do.
Yes.
And the nice thing about okra is good for weight loss.
Oh, my word. Well, these are all coming home with me.
Good for your skin, good for like blemishes, evening out your skin tone. Like, it's a really amazing, like, superfood. They call it a superfood in some places.
Watch, all the shops are going to be cleared of okra now. We've started the new cauliflower movement here on Afternoon Express. Only it's celebrating okra.
This can be blended into
Zanzibar, but I'm just chopping a few veggies for
for your fish.
My fishy mojo.
Okay, so you've got tomato, you've got your red pepper.
There's a red pepper, and it's like a lovely salad. You know, I don't know if we have the pickled fish.
Yes.
But you can also just have this fish salad where you kind of just take a whole lot of salad ingredients and fish, steamed fish, like I'm going to do it there, a little salad dressing and mix it all together. And then you have your fish imojo. And imojo actually means a mixture of fish and a whole lot of stuff. So you have your fish, your prawns, your shrimp. You can actually use other seafood as well.
Amazing.
I've just decided to use the fish and the prawns.
Yeah. So eating this amazing fishy mojo will bring back your mojo.
A bouillabaisse in an African name. I like it.
Yes, exactly. That's quite right. That's quite right.
So
correct.
just to recap what we've done here, we've got our amazing Egyptian falafels.
Indeed.
That look incredible. What have you been busy with over there?
What I'm making here is the sauce part of the... So the fishy mojo is like a seafood salad.
Yeah.
And this is almost like the dressing, the salad dressing, yeah.
Amazing. And, of course, we've still got our fish and our onions steaming beautifully in this pot with the shrimp. And we're making the little fish salad with the okra, red peppers, and the tomato. Now, this recipe can also actually be found in the African Cookbook. Remember to enter the keyword book if you would like the chance to win a copy. T's and C's on afternoonexpress.co.za. Now, make sure to stick around for more delicious tastes and aromas as we get into a Zanzibar bamia recipe after the break.
Just relax, it's just us two. Just do you.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. I hope that you're having a wonderful Tuesday afternoon. Now, we hope that you've actually been really enjoying cooking with us this afternoon, because these are some very, very special dishes as we take a trip through Africa with Lumai and Portia. And as we add the final touches to our delectable dishes, we have one more unique recipe called the Zanzibar Bamia that we started just before the break. And it shows us a really scrumptious way to cook okra, aka ladies' fingers. And no, we're not talking about the biscuits. We're speaking about these literally delicious little veggies that are super good for your skin. An absolutely delicious superfood for you to get hold of, to get that glow on in your body. And of course, to get this recipe sent to your device, SMS EAT to 33650. SMS is a R1.50 each, and free SMSs do not apply. All right, back to cooking. You've added a little bit of your sauce with the tomato, red pepper, and what's that?
Spring onion. Spring onion. And then I'm going to order, this is add the shrimp or prawns and the fish.
Amazing.
And then there you have your fish salad.
So delicious.
There you have it.
Beautiful, nice steamed fish. This is such a clean dish.
Yeah, it's very clean. In fact, even when you eat it, it feels very clean.
Yeah.
And that's then you just mix it, and you can have this on your own as a salad. If you want to add more of the peppers or more onion, you're welcome to, or even more fish. Then you have
That is beautiful. What a stunning dish. All right, ladies, I can see you all busy over here.
I'm the chopping girl. Just let me know how much do we need.
Yes, so I think do 2 onions.
Okay, cool.
So when you finish with this onion here, just pop a little oil in the bottom of the pan. It's also going to be a shallow fried thing. It's almost like a stir fry that you're doing with the bamia. Starting with your onion, then the okra will go in. The trick about okra is that, I don't know if you tasted when you tasted it, it's a bit slimy. It has like a sliminess.
Yeah, but it was lovely. It was like a dry cucumber for me.
Yes, yeah, like it's quite fresh, and that's the part that sort of gel is what's so good for your body. But if you cook it too long in a stew, it becomes almost like like gelatinous, like not pleasant. So the trick to it is to cook it quickly. Deep fried or stir fried. You want to cook it quick, then it keeps its crunch and it's still tasty.
Is it quite a good thing to add like raw to a salad?
Yes, it would be brilliant to add to a salad.
Brilliant. Okay.
And there's another thing that you can actually add to your, if you have your finger foods, your crudité table there, and you can just add raw okra that you can also use in a dip, like with
do that.
Like with aib, yeah. So
if we're wanting to stir fry it, do you want these more julienne than chopped?
Yes,
okay,
like that.
Okay, cool.
Oh, look at you. You are very pro in the kitchen.
Listen.
Do you cook every day?
Not every day, unfortunately. I'm up at 3 in the morning generally, and so most of the time one doesn't even have the appetite to eat.
No,
just go straight to sleep. But I do love to cook as much as possible, particularly for guests.
Yeah.
I love
a good dinner party.
Yeah, exactly.
It's my favourite thing to do. Okay, I'm going to invite you round for one.
Likewise.
I'm going to have to get you ladies round as well to cook.
Absolutely. And I'm going to get that book.
Yes,
so I can look a lot more smart.
Oh, yeah, that's
do you need any help over there?
You just need to put the oil in the pan. So I think the onion will be able to go in soon.
Yeah. Oil in the pan.
Do that.
Right.
Okay. Nice.
I think this is sufficient, yeah?
More? A little bit more.
Okay.
Like the same again?
Yeah, that's enough.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you not find it like a huge adjustment when you first started breakfast radio and having to wake up so early?
Again, it's very much like Wall Street. So when you're in New York and you're covering emerging Europe, Middle East and Africa, by the time you wake up at 6, half the day is gone on that side of the world.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
you get yourself, well, you don't wake up at 6, you get to the office at 6.
Yeah.
And so similarly, I mean, now I get to office at 4:30.
Yeah.
And you get used to it very quickly. All right, let me
Do you want to add your onion?
I will. I'll add the rest. No, don't be silly. But it's been an adjustment insofar as our listeners are very spicy, and you know usually when you're an expert in finance, people just go, oh yes, great idea. Whereas now people say, no, that's not it. Let me correct you, which is quite cool.
But that's great.
It's a great challenge.
So much conversation.
Quite right. It's a really great place for social cohesion and everything.
No, I'll definitely do it. You know what? I find that frying onions is even harder than chopping them because as that smoke rises, it gets in your eyes. So if I start crying, it's not that I'm emotional today. Yeah. Oh, I love chili.
Likewise. The spicier the better.
Yeah, I find that South African food and African food. Yeah, good idea. Yeah, the gas stove really does cook a lot faster than another convection. Is a convection stove?
And certainly faster than I'm chopping.
Best,
I'll be right behind you in 1 second.
In we go.
Put in your chili in there.
Yummy.
Okay.
Yeah, I love the fact that African food has just got so much flavour with all like a great variety of spices that often in other parts of the world, like that Irish stew or food in England just tastes so bland. I think that's why curry does so well in England.
Yeah, that's why it's got so much because it's also so cold as well. Yeah.
No bland flavours.
It's a shame if people think that all that South African food is like pap or you know that's all it is. There's so much like complex and sophisticated flavors there.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, do you by any chance have a recipe for? Why have I forgotten the word now? The one that Senegal, Ghana, Nigeria all compete on?
Jollof rice.
Jollof rice. Do you have a recipe in your book for jollof rice?
So many people have asked that.
Yes, a lot of people have asked us about jollof rice.
The main reason I'm asking is which one would have inspired you first? Because I think Senegalese is the best. I might get in trouble.
What's the difference?
I think the Senegalese jollof rice is lovely.
It kind of is the original.
Yeah, the original,
But every country has a difference.
So you can pop over to our website
and get the recipe.
And jollof rice recipe.
And there's a jollof rice and there's also the other one that they all kind of thingy with. Another rice is, what is that rice name?
Which one?
I don't know.
What's it got in it?
What's it got in it?
It's got lots of spices and herbs, and we had it when we went to Kenya.
Oh, pilau.
Pilau rice.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Pilau is the other one that they all kind of compete.
Yes, particularly, I'm sure in the East.
Which pilau is the better? Yes.
Right.
So the thing about working with your mom is that you can finish all her sentences.
That's amazing.
What's in her head?
Good. Listen, it's the most beautiful relationship, I think it is. I think this is just such a treat and such a blessing.
Thank you.
I'm
really
curious
beautiful.
to know what it's like like working together? I mean, do you let her sort of boss you around on her recipes from time to time?
She's usually good with photographs and exactly how things should be with the recipe book. She wanted like, this is the color, this is good. Yeah.
You don't strike me as someone who gets bullied easily.
No.
Actually, no.
But the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so in here we've got our beautiful onions combined with the chili and, of course, our delicious okra. Can't wait to taste this. And then the tomato is going to go in.
Yeah.
Oh,
very
beautiful.
African style with my hand.
I was about to say, I almost tried to help you out.
Garlic and
ginger.
You mess up your fish.
Are they in already?
My soul is actually so full today, cooking with all of you beautiful, beautiful ladies. I hope that you're experiencing all of this delicious love at home as well. Now, this is seriously one tasty trip around the African continent, and of course, with thanks to Lamaya and Portia. And you definitely do not want to miss out on these recipes and so much more. SMS the keyword book to stand a chance to win a copy. And of course, T's and C's can be found on afternoonexpress.co.za, as well as that amazing jollof rice recipe. Join us after at the Afternoon Express dining table for a little final chat after the break.
Express yourself. Together we will fly. Just relax, it's just us two. Just do you.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now I want to share with you one of my favourite initiatives that I've heard of from this year. The 2020 Crush Goodness crew are on the road for their Goodness Tour to distribute Smart Step school shoes, these babies over here. And of course, they're going to children in need. And of course, Gauteng, this week is your turn. So thanks to your help and all of your support, New Clare, GR Harris, Madume, Eldorado Park, Sherry Crest, and General Bayes primary schools will be receiving their Smart Step school shoes. Remember, you still stand a chance to win your share of 250,000 Rand in cash and one of 5 school fees valued up to 50,000 Rand each. So get your favorite crush today, enter and hashtag share the goodness.
With your support, we are now able to donate 20,000 pairs of Smart Step school shoes to children in need. Celebrate goodness when you buy a crush. Dial the number on the pack for a chance to win your share of cash prizes and school fees. Crush, share the goodness.
And of course, our favorite time of the day, sitting down to the dining table and sharing amazing food with great friends. This is such a joy and such a treat. Thank you so much, ladies, for sharing your incredible recipes with us and, of course, sharing them with the world. You have to get your hands on this amazing cookbook. It will really be a great journey through Africa. Thank you so much.
Of course, Jenny. It's such a pleasure to be here, and I'm so excited to have one more trip on the continent, at least if by taste only today.
Yeah.
So
well, you definitely made me want to wake up early in the morning so that I can listen to you again. And should we dish? Should we enjoy the fruits of our labour?
Absolutely. Thanks for making me feel like I'm an even better cook.
No, you were great in the kitchen, both.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us at home. Tomorrow, it's all about fitness with my favourite Rachel Khaleesi. Same time, same place. See you then. Good night and God bless.
Afternoon Express, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.